Well, did Condor just convert me over with this Bisonte? Well, what's going on, Gideon's Tactical family? Coming at you from South Texas, and I am pumped today for this video because for a long time, I've kind of been on the fence or kind of down on Condor tools, mainly, particularly in the smaller size range. I know some of their machetes are pretty epic, but the quality control in steel choices. The 1075 for me has always been a little too soft in their smaller tools. I'm constantly having to resharpen them, and grind angles being all over the place, you know, handle scales being cockeyed or too large or too small, and just like weird stuff like that that makes you have to really work on the tool. Well, we're gonna find out if this Bisonte has any of those issues. And I can tell you right out of the gate, the first one is this. The thing that made me connect with it is not only the looks, just look at the beauty of that tool. It's elegant. I mean, that is a cool looking knife. That visually connects with me, the lines, the profile, and the fact that this has 1095 steel. So as soon as I saw those two things, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot. Let's do it. I pulled the trigger, had it delivered down to South Padre Island over Christmas, and now thumping on this thing, and I was like, oh, okay, let's find out. Let's see. Let's see, Condor, if you can convert me into wanting to try out some more of your tools. Because it's basically, they rarely are seen here on the channel, because that's been my experience and kind of my attitude is like, eh. So what we're looking at is 4.75 inches overall cutting edge. Great thickness as well, because it's 0.11 on the thickness. Basically an 1/8 of an inch thick. And that's exactly what you want on this sub 5-inch knife, 4.5 inches overall cutting edge. Thinner is better in most scenarios in this size range. That's my preference. That's what I've discovered over years of use. So with that, we got a Scandi grind that is excellent, well executed with their natural finish, I believe is what they call it. You can see just a little bit of wearing, that is not chipping. A little bit of wear, 90-degree spine, so you can throw sparks with that. Great drop on that tip. The bevel, guys, is excellent. There's no wonkiness in the grinding of the bevel. Love it. So what I discovered with the blade, not only was the Scandi grind, which is one of the first things I did, was put it up against some food prep, and usually I'm very like, bleh, because Scandis can tend to kind of like, I don't know, just mush some of the food that you may be working with. Cut. Guys, for the life of me, I cannot find the footage of me doing food work and food prep with this tool. So, for the sake of getting the video up for you guys, trust me, it did well for a Scandi grind knife. Obviously, a full flat will still be better, but if you're using a woods craft tool and you're doing mostly woods craft, but you want to be able to do some camp work, this is better than most Scandi ground knives I've used. And then obviously with all of your, you know, carving, obviously that's what you're gonna be doing a lot with a Scandi knife. The feather sticks, great. The making a spear point, making a spear tip, making a little notch, you know, doing those type of activities, and just having fun, whittling, carving, doing that stuff, practicing bushcraft skills, totally going to do that and do it well. And the nice thing is the 1095, I'm seeing a definite edge retention upgrade over the old 1075 that they used to use on all of their tools. I know they use it still on a lot, but it's excellent. Much better edge retention, very competitive with a lot of other 1095s that I'm seeing, and that is going to lead to less need to resharpen, and you can actually use the tool and you're not like, golly, there's a roll on this thing again, I gotta resharpen this thing again. So that is a really good thing. So happy with the new 1095 steel that they're using. The edge retention is good. The heat treat from everything I'm seeing is done really well. And then obviously with that full tang, you can kind of thump on it a little bit more in the exposed tang than you would with, say, like a little rat tail tang, you know, Scandi knife, you know, or something like that that you're gonna get from Scandinavian country. You can beat on this a little bit more and do some of those light hacking, delimbing if you needed to, you know, like stuff the size of your thumb or less, you know, if you need to delimb a branch or something. Totally can do that, no problem. And doing light batoning to get the kindling going around a fire once you've chopped it all down, you can totally do that too. Now there's a lot going on with this handle. Pretty sweet. So we have wood handle scales pinned in all the way through on 3 sides and a tube lanyard as well on the back. Rounded, really nicely done. Red and white liners, so that gives it some really nice pop. And it kind of flares out near the end, really giving you what you're looking for in a woods craft knife. You can see there I got plenty of real estate on the back end which you guys know with my large size hands is always appreciated. Good swelling right there, kind of down the middle. Not a narrow neck, but it does kind of flare in the center right there. Scalloped on either side. Now, in the past, the fit and finish was all over the place. I mean, it was like, like making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and your kid making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and sloppy and messy and the, you know, bread's all cockeyed, and then you making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like cleaner, nicer, and tidier, and you know, the bread's lined up and it's presentable to give to a neighbor or something. You know, it's coming over for lunch. So that is not the case. I'm seeing excellent, no lips, no roughness anywhere on there. The edge grind as well, perfect on either side. So that's always been kind of an issue. Usually I would see one kind of cockeyed. This one's right down the middle. Good grinding from everything I'm seeing. The only issue that I see on the handle is maybe that was hit last minute by the sander before they kind of finished it off. So that's something just to note. It's symmetrical, but it's just not finished all the way. So that's something that I'm seeing there, and it's not epoxied. I would have loved, like it's fully exposed like wood. Over time, the elements are going to get to this unless I do something to possibly like epoxy it or something like that. So that would be my only thing. If it was more like a stabilized wood that could fight against the humidity and things like that a little bit more would be great, but fills out the hand nicely. The guard is really good. Going to keep you in place, no jimping. This guard here is kind of sharp on one side, just a hair. I'm going to probably take like a little bit of a sander and just kind of sand that off ever so slightly. Just it's not like going to cut me or anything, but it's just something I kind of notice, and when I'm moving my hand back and forth, it kind of grabs it on one direction. So that's the only other area really anywhere on the knife that I'm seeing CQC, and that is an extreme step up over what I have usually seen in years past from Condor. So really good handle, great. You can use it, you know, reverse lever grip, pinch pulls, I mean everything, and it's going to really be a well-designed and not create hot spots type of handle for your outdoor long extended cutting tasks, which is what you want in this style of tool. Now this sheath is nothing to balk at either. It's leather, really well done, good grade leather, nice and thick. It's not thin and flimsy or anything like that. You have a fire steel loop that easily will fit my Swedish made Light My Fire steel in there nice and snug. So I mean, that thing ain't gonna come out or fall out. And then what you have as well, just throw that out of the way, get that out of the way here, is your nice grade, again, just leather. Lanyard hole, so you can put a thigh strap on if you want to. Stitching, it's a single kind of double run. I would have liked to see a little bit heavier duty stitching, like twice run right there would have been really nice. And then on the back side here, we not only have this large attachment that if you wanted to pry off the D-ring, you could do that and then run it, you know, kind of flush, or you can do the dangler, and that dangler is really nice as well. So I mean, that works super well, not coming out. Let's see here. Without the dangler, not loud at all. So nice and quiet, and then whoosh, easy to pull out. You can, you know, wet mold it if you want more security, but it's totally sticking in there. So awesome option with the leather sheath and excellently executed, particularly for the pricing. Now, what do you think, little buddy? Tommy the Trail Dog is loving the sun today. I do want to touch just for a moment before we continue and look at a competitive option and talk pricing with this tool. Is my experience, now that I've discussed everything with you, was really impressive. I was very impressed with everything from the fit and finish, the design, the materials, all of that. I always look also online and see what the community and you guys are saying that already own the tool. And what I've seen is kind of still mixed results with the quality control side of things. I did see that every once in a while people were complaining about the handle still being kind of off or wonky, or a messed up bevel on the blade. So I just want to share that data with you. Mine didn't have any of those problems, and the steel upgrade has been really good. But for you guys, just consider that, and maybe if you're going to go into this tool, to go, okay, I have to be willing to maybe return it and get a second one, or there is the possibility that the quality control isn't quite as good as the one that you saw here today that I picked up just randomly off of Amazon. So that's my take, and I just wanted to give you guys that as a little food for thought as you are considering this tool and whether or not it's the right one for you. And that pricing was excellent. I paid $65 for this particular tool. It usually goes between $65 and $75 on average. We'll have a ton of links for you guys below over to Smoky Mountain Knife Works, Amazon, BLADEHQ, GPKNIVES, LA Police Gear, you know, just to name a few. And those places, we really do appreciate it. If a design does connect with you, if you're like, this is the tool for me, this is the design for me, when you use those hyperlinks, helps me continue to create the content that we do here at the channel. So I just thank you so much, guys. And so for that price, if you can get it around that price point, I think that if you're seeing everything you see and you are ready to dive in, you won't be disappointed. It's an excellent tool, and oftentimes you got to pay like $130 to $160 to get very similar materials and fit and finish and quality. There is one exception to that I'll run in as just a competitive option to consider is Joker knives. We talked about them recently. They do have a lot of scanty ground knives. They're actually a lot thicker. They're a lot beefier behind the stock. They still cut really well, but they are a heavier, kind of thicker tool, and they tend to be more stainless, and some people like it, some people don't. They do have some high carbon versions out there, but you can easily get between $75 and $100 a Spanish made knife that is really excellent as well, that you could look into, and I will include those in the link so you can kind of weigh your options. And that's what I'm always doing in these type of videos, is giving you guys data, information, so you can make a wise choice on what's the best tool for whatever scenario, environment, and application you're wanting to put it into. So guys, I wanted to try this as just kind of a backup emergency option. I'm shooting in with my new iPhone 13, not the Max or Pro or whatever, it's just the basic 13. But I wanted to see how it would perform, how the audio was. It's just straight camera. Let me know if you guys like it. If you're like, oh, that's garbage, don't do that in the future. But in conclusion, you're seeing everything, and it has Condor kind of made a turn. Does it make me want to try out more of their tools? The answer is I feel like yes. If it continues down this road, I feel like you may see more Condor tools here at the channel. It makes me kind of want to go back through the catalog, maybe see some other stuff that's made in 1095 and some other designs, just see how the not only fit and finish, but also just the materials and how they hold up. And I hope to see more in this vein of a little bit better quality, a little bit better steel, and a little bit better fit and finish to be able to enjoy some really cool designs. I mean, Joe Flowers, who I know works there, as well as so many other people and some of their in-house designers, I mean, some of their designs are freaking phenomenal. And so if those can really hit it on the head with the fit and finish, and then with the materials, the Condor could be crushing it on the fixed blade market for sure. So guys, that's my take. I look forward to hearing from you guys. If you have any questions or anything you want to add to the discussion, I always love reading the discussion points below. Without you guys here at the channel, I'm just talking to myself at a campground like a goofball with my camera, and probably all the other campers are like, what the heck are you doing? So you guys make it all worthwhile, and it's just awesome to be able to have the conversation and show you guys awesome new gear coming out and the pros and cons of each. So love you guys. Check out the other video popping up. Subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber here at the channel. Throwing up new content every single week. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.